Hello all. Well, this is the second time I'm doing this video. I did one yesterday, took it home and went to edit it, and I found out that the settings weren't right and I blew the whole video. So let's try it again. What I wanted to talk about was this privatization, where governments throughout the world are taking public owned resources and selling them to private corporations, and then these corporations run that, such as the water department, the electricity, roads, freeways, that sort of thing, you know, selling it all off sewers to private industry. Well, I've always said that that's one of the worst things you could ever do, and now Greece is going through this hell of privatization. Also, the United Kingdom, the Queen's government, they're now privatizing. They're privatizing things like the NHS, which is their healthcare service, one of the best in the world. And they paid taxes to use it, but they paid a lot less money to use it through taxes than they ever will through privatization. The very first thing they do is they hike up all the fees, the drug costs, and the amount of money that the deductible when you pay your bill when you leave. So you get a little bit of coverage through insurance, and then you have to pay a deductible, plus you have to pay most of the meds, and you know where those are going, skyrocketing. Another example of this is Detroit in the US. They also did the privatization thing with their water department and sewers. So they sold it to the same company. This company is now shutting people's water off because they can't pay their bills. Some of these bills are $30 to $60. They're still shutting it off. They're saying the reason they can do this is because people can go and get their own water out of Lake Michigan, which is severely polluted and you'd never want to drink it, but you know. So anyway, my thoughts on that is we've been bailing out the banks throughout the world for trillions and trillions of dollars. Here in the US we have QE, which is a monthly giveaway to the banks. It was up to almost $1 trillion a month. Now it's down to 30 billion a month. Just 1 billion could pay all the water bills, fix all the sewers, and have that situation in Detroit completely cleared up. But no, they can't do it. And not only that, but if your water is shut off, they're making you go to a separate private company where they charge you $30 to put the paperwork in to turn the water back on. So here's another thing. When they sell off these public resources, has anyone in any country gotten a refund? Because you guys all spent money building up that infrastructure. You're the taxpayer, but yet the city or the state sold it. Where's our share? All right, let's do a Yellowstone volcano update. Here in the US, we've been watching a supervolcano sort of not really come alive, but percolating more. Lately, just in the last couple days, the temperature's been up in the 80s. Well, that's not that hot. Certainly not hot enough to melt a road, but Firehole Drive was melted and destroyed by some kind of heat coming out of the ground. They closed that area of the park. It also, the heat was so large, it destroyed some of the boardwalks and parks that were around the area. It's closed because they're saying that you might fall into some scalding hot water. My thoughts are more than just scalding hot water. I'm thinking maybe there is some lava getting pretty close to the surface. But they don't seem to be concerned much at all, because they're trying to get it back open within 3 to 4 days. Personally, I wouldn't even think of going to Yellowstone this year. I would wait probably 2 or 3 years before I would even think about going over there, just because of the way things have been acting lately. So these hot spots are around 6 miles north of Old Faithful Geyser. Old Faithful Geyser is still open, but just 6 miles away, the earth is so hot that it's melting the roads there. And the last thing, the other day I was walking and I saw this. This is a antenna system for San Francisco here in the U.S. It's for all the commercial TV and radio stations and some of the emergency services. All these channels have been used up for 30-40 years. They have not had an opening where they would ever need to put up a new antenna on this tower. It's called Sutro Tower. But all of a sudden this appeared. And I looked at that, and you could hear all this work going on up there for months as I'd walk up there. Right now you can slightly hear the work going on up there. This antenna apparently was just hoisted up on a crane one day and stuck on there after the prep work was done. But I don't know, is there something up there? Am I reading that right? What does it say? NSA? So, I appreciate all the comments. I found that some of the comments were being put into spam. So, I found out how to get those out, and I put them back out. So, if you're wondering if your particular comment is not showing up, it'll show up after it comes out of spam. Google Tube. Anyway, until next time, thanks for all the likes and the subscriptions and anything else you do. See you next time.